You do at your house?
Mm-hmm.
That's neat.
And my big dog had a baby.
Oh, so you have puppies?
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
And he's
That's
adorable.
Is he adorable? I bet. Okay, friends.
And his name is Spot.
His name's Spot. That's cute. That's a cute name. Okay. We're getting a few more friends in. Who can tell me what new unit we've been talking about? What new unit have we been talking about? Let's see. Estelle?
Animals.
What, Estelle?
Farm animals.
Farm animals, that's right. Farm animals, or farms in general. Not just farm animals, but farms. We visited a man's farm named, who remembers his name?
Old MacDonald.
Oh, Old MacDonald. Let's raise our hand. Yep, Old MacDonald. And he has a song. So yesterday, we sang his song. And today, when we sing it, I want us to sing the song about a particular farm animal, because today we're going to talk about one farm animal in particular. That farm animal is a cow. So we're going to start out by singing Old MacDonald, but we're going to sing it about the cow. Are you ready? We're going to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O. With a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there. Here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Okay. All right, so yesterday we made a KWL chart about farms, and I want us to go over it. So our topic yesterday, let me write topic up here. Our topic yesterday in our KWL chart was about a farm. So yesterday, excuse me, yesterday we wrote about a farm. We said we already knew farms have animals and barns and crops. Those are some things that we already knew. We said what we wanted to learn was how do they water their crops and how do they feed their animals. So I'm just going to write feed animals. Now, did we learn anything about feeding the animals? Did we learn how Farmer MacDonald was able to feed his animals? Did we learn that? Yeah, we did. Who remembers? How did Farmer MacDonald feed his animals? Let's see. Adeline?
With that stick.
He used a pitchfork and hay that he stored in a barn. That's true. How else did Farmer MacDonald feed his animals? Hold on, friends, 1 second. I've got the phone ringing. Hold on.
What? How can you guys?
I'll come by and get her. It's time to go. Bye-bye.
I hear the
Okay.
sound.
Sorry, boys and girls. I had a telephone
Me
call.
too.
Okay.
I hear that sound.
Did you hear that telephone call? I don't think I've ever had one in a lesson before. Okay. So, we learned another way that the farmer feeds the animals. Who can raise their hand and tell me the other way? Elliot, what's another way that Farmer MacDonald fed his animals? Do you remember?
By keeping his food in a safe place.
He did. He kept it in a silo. So he used something called a silo to keep the food for the animals. He kept it in his silo. It's like a giant tin can that he kept all the food in. Here, let me see if I can go back to the picture of the silo.
Okay.
Yes? See the silo? Where he kept all his food. So that's what we learned yesterday. We didn't quite learn how he watered his crops, but we did learn that he used a silo. What else did we learn that we may not have known yesterday? Smearty?
I asked, how did he, what do the pigs eat?
Yep, we haven't learned that yet, but what did we learn? Can you tell me something we did learn?
He keeps the food in a safe place.
Yeah, that makes me think of the word shelter. So food, water, and shelter were the three things animals need. So we learned animals need food, water, and that thing called shelter. See if I can fit it in.
Okay, are you talking about the barn?
Yep, the barn is the shelter. So animals need food, water, and shelter. So that's what we learned yesterday. Today, we're going to make a new KWL chart. But this time, we are going to do it about cows. So, who wants to raise their hand and tell me, oops, hold on, I gotta use my eraser. Spelt cows wrong. Who wants to raise their hand and tell me something that maybe you already know about cows? Ooh, Ryan, what's something you already know about cows?
They're the cats.
The baby cows are calves? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, so they're babies are calves. Well, if my pen would work. Okay, what else do we know about cows? Their babies are calves. What else? Johnian.
They got milk inside them.
They provide milk. So we learned that word provide means to make. So they provide milk. Very good. We often see them on the cover of a milk carton. Anything else we know about cows? Estelle?
They get milk.
Yep, we said they provide milk. Anything else? Are we?
They eat hay.
Oh, they eat hay. We saw that. They eat hay and grass. They talked about that. So they eat grass and hay. And hay. Okay. So they eat grass and hay. So their babies are calves. They provide milk and they eat grass and hay. All right. What do you want to know that you don't already know about cows? What's something you'd like to know about a cow? What's something you'd like to know? Nicole? Nicole, unmute your mic.
I want to know what cow drinks.
What do cows drink? Yeah, I bet they don't drink milk. What do cows drink? Awesome. Okay, very good. What else? Let's do someone I have not called on. Nope, you can't call out. You have to raise your hand, honey. I'm sorry. Russell, what else would you like to know about cows?
What do cows eat? But I can tell you think. A cow has 4 parts of stomach.
Oh, cows have 4 parts in their stomach. That's a fact. That's great, Russell. But what else might we want to learn about cows? Are we?
What does cows do and stuff?
What do they do all day? What do they do all day? That's a good question. Oh, and I need to put question marks at the end. Okay. So maybe by the end of our lesson, we will have learned the answers to what do cows drink and what do they do all day. Let's take a look. Here are some vocabulary words we're going to hear in our story. One word is heard. This is not like the word I heard what you said. This means a group of animals. Here's a group of cows. They're in a herd. Another word, we talked about it before in our vegetable unit, or in our plants unit, is produce. Produce means to make. Cows produce milk. Produce, or produces. Okay. I want us, hang on.
Raising my hand.
Okay, what is it, sweetie?
I want to learn how cows communicate.
Ooh, how they communicate. Very good. All right. Old MacDonald is going to tell you about cows. Listen carefully to find more about the main topic or main idea of today's lesson. Cows. Oh, and Old MacDonald is the narrator. A narrator is the person who tells the story. So hang on one second. I'll be right back. I am going to be Old MacDonald. See my hat? I am not Miss Cates anymore. When I have on the hat, I turn into the narrator. The narrator is Old MacDonald. So, let's get started. I've finished my jobs for the day and I'm ready to take you on a farm tour. Let's start over at my neighbor, Farmer Brown's place. Cattle are some of the first animals people think of when they think of farms. This is actually my neighbor's herd of cattle. Remember, a herd of cattle is a group. It's a big group of cattle. I only have a few cows on my farm, but my neighbor has a whole herd. Female or mother cattle are called cows. You might not be able to tell at first glance, but most of the cattle in this picture are cows, or female cattle. Like most farm animals, cows spend much of their day standing around eating. Hey, that was on our KWL chart. Oh, I see another farmer. We got Farmer Russell. On our KWL chart, someone asked, I think it was Arwie, what do they do all day? Well, they spend most of their day doing this, standing around eating. That is fine. In fact, that's great. That's exactly what farmers want cows to do. The more the cows eat, the better. Baby cattle are called calves. A calf looks like its mother, only smaller. Cows usually give birth to one calf each year. Like all mammals, the mother cow produces milk inside her body. The calf feeds on the milk each day until it's old enough to graze and eat grass and other types of food. If you look closely at the cow in this picture, you'll notice a large pouch on her belly near her hind legs, right here. This is the cow's udder, where she produces and stores milk, where she makes her milk and stores it. The cow's udder has 4 teats. That's the part that hangs down. Her calf will suck on one of those teats and drink the milk when it is hungry. Sometimes the mother cow is not able to produce enough milk for her calf. If that happens, the farmer will feed the calf milk from a bottle. Male or father cattle are called bulls. They're usually larger than cows. Bulls do not produce milk. A farmer has many cows, but usually has only 1 or 2 bulls. Even an old, experienced farmer like me needs to be careful around the bull because he can be unpredictable. That means you don't know what he's going to do, and he's got sharp horns on his head. So cows are female cattle and boys are male cattle. Let me go back to this image. Cattle spend much of their time out in the fields or pasture grazing on fresh green grass. Remember, grazing means to eat. Because grazing isn't always available, some farmers grow extra fields of grass, alfalfa, and other grains that can be turned into hay. Hay is dried grass that cows and other farm animals can eat when there's not enough grass growing in the pasture. Once the plants in these extra fields are fully grown, the farmer pulls a machine with his tractor to mow it down. Then he uses another machine to gather it up and make hay bales. These round cylinder-shaped things are hay bales. A bale is large, tightly packed bundle of hay tied together. Raise your hand if you've ever seen a hay bale. If you drive around in Oak Ridge, Summerfield, or Stokesdale, near where we live, you might see some farms with this. Farmers can store the bales of hay in the field or bring them to the barn to keep them nice and dry. That way they'll be ready for cattle to eat in the winter when the weather is cold and there's not as much grass for grazing in the fields. Some farmers also give cows feed made from corn. And I don't mean corn on the cob. The corn people eat is called sweet corn. That's the corn you and I eat. That's different from what most farmers grow. That's called field corn. Field corn has many uses. It can be used for animal feed and is a great ingredient for many food that we eat. So the corn on the cob that you eat is sweet corn. The corn that cows eat is called field corn. Calves aren't the only ones who drink cow's milk. People drink it too. I'm sure a lot of you drink milk every day. Milk is also used to make ice cream as well as many other dairy products, including cheese, butter, and yogurt. Dairy products are things that are made from milk. So, cow's milk is also important to people. That's why there are dairy farms. People get cow's milk by milking the cow. To milk the cow, this girl squeezes a teat under the udder and gives it a good strong tug. With each tug, a little milk squirts out into the bucket. It will take her a while to fill that whole bucket. And by the time she's done, her hands and arms will probably be sore and tired. Unless she does this sort of work a lot, in which case she'll be used to it. So you milk a cow by pulling on the teats, which are attached to the udder, and that fills up this bucket full of milk. But this takes a long time, and it's a lot of hard work. On modern day farms, which means farms from nowadays, machines are used to milk cows. The farmer hooks the hoses up to the udders, but then the machines do the work of pumping milk out of the udders. On a dairy farm, the building where cows are milked is called a milking parlor. So, here's the machine hooked up to the cow's udders, and it pumps the milk out into a container. They call this a milking parlor, the building where cows are milked. The dairy farmer collects fresh milk from his cows twice each day, and a big truck comes to the dairy farm and collects the milk once every 2 days. Often the milk will go to a bottling factory, and then it will be sold to a grocery store and eventually end up in your refrigerator at home. Now that's a lot. The farmer milks his cows 2 times a day. That's a lot of milk. And this big truck, look how big this is. It would probably take 5 of your mom and dad's cars to fill up the size of this truck. So, and this truck comes every 2 days to the farm. So let's count. So maybe there's Sunday, Monday. Monday the truck comes. Then Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday the truck comes. Then Thursday, Friday. Friday the truck comes. And then Saturday, Sunday. Sunday the truck comes. So the truck comes probably 3 days a week. And this whole thing gets filled up with milk. That's a lot of milk. Not all cows are dairy cows. Some farmers raise beef cattle. Beef is the word used for cow meat. These are all beef products. These are 2 different kinds of steaks. This is a hamburger. And this is a stew, which is meat that's in a thick soup. Raise your hand if you've ever had any of these foods. If you've ever had a hamburger or cheeseburger or steak or beef stew, then you've eaten beef from cattle. Roast beef, steaks, hamburgers, and beef stew are all beef products. Whew, that was a lot of information. Okay, I'm going to take off my hat now because I'm not Farmer Brown anymore. I am Miss Cates. So let's go back to our KWL chart. And let's try to fill in what we have learned. Did we learn what cows drink? What do they drink? What do they drink? Russell?
Milk.
No, they produce milk. They make milk. I think cows drink water, but it didn't tell us in the story what they do. Did it tell us what cows do all day? What do cows do all day long? What do they do, Smearty?
Eat grass and hay.
They eat. So cows, and the word for eating is called graze. Graze all day. Okay, what else did we learn about cows? Did we learn anything else new or interesting about cows? Raise your hand if you think you learned something new or interesting. Adeline?
That I never ever knew that I
We'll come back to you. We'll come back and you can think about it. Put your microphone on mute. Anya, what did you learn?
that there could also be beef cows.
Yeah, some cows there is such a thing called beef cattle. Beef.
But Miss Kate,
Uh-huh.
I don't eat any meat.
Well, that's good for you. That's excellent. But some people do. And those that do need beef from the cattle. So there's a thing called beef cattle. Some farmers raise cattle for milk. Some raise cattle for beef. Is there anything else new that you learned? Ryan?
Follow how to make a machine.
Yes, farmers use a machine in a milking parlor to milk their cows more efficiently.
How did farmers know how to make a machine?
Oh, how did they know? It didn't really tell me that. I think just over time, someone invented a machine. A farmer probably invented it that was tired of milking cows by hand. And then other farmers bought the machine and it became popular. But I am going to write that down, that there is a milking parlor to milk cows.
Thank you.
Milking parlor, which is just like a fancy way of saying a milking room. Milking parlor. Okay. All right, friends. So, recapping what we did, we knew that babies are called calves. They provide milk. They eat grass and hay. We didn't know what cows drink. Well, they drink water from a trough. And we didn't know what they do all day. We learned that cows graze or eat grass and hay all day. Some cattle are beef cattle, and farmers milk cows in a milking parlor with a machine nowadays. A long time ago, you had to milk by hand. These are all things we learned today about cows.
Okay.
Hang on, raise your hand because I've got other friends raising their hand. Are we? What's your question? You're not sure? That's okay. I'll come back to you. Jonyan?
I eat steak.
Yes. That's from a beef cattle. Could be a cow or bull. Anyone else with a question? Nicole?
I eat hamburger and French fries every Monday or Tuesday or Thursday.
Okay. All right, I'm going to ask you a question and then we're going to close out. What is the most interesting fact that you learned about cows? What did you find the most interesting? Estelle, what did you find the most interesting about cows?
That they're beef cows.
Yes, that some farmers raise cows for beef. Very good. Elliot, what did you find the most interesting that you learned about cows?
That there were bulls were on farms.
That bulls are on farms. Yes, there's only 1 or 2 bulls. You don't need as many bulls as you do cows because bulls can't make milk. But yep, there are bulls on farms. Very good. Anya, what did you think was the most interesting fact?
That farmers use the machines to milk the cows.
Yeah, farmers use machines. They don't sit there all day and milk by hand. And Smearty, what did you find the most interesting?
That those machines to milk cows.
Okay. All right, friends, we're going to head out this afternoon. You all did a wonderful job. Tomorrow we do not have school. It is Veterans Day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Miss Kay.